with Anthony about fourth quarter defense, and what do you think it is in the fourth quarter? Obviously, both teams play the same amount of snaps. What do you think it is that the other teams have been doing to have success, especially running the ball in the fourth quarter?
Um, yeah, that's something that we've just been working on. The first three quarters have been solid. The fourth quarter, the last few weeks, at the beginning of the season, we just haven't been good. Just plainly, too many big runs, guys getting around the edge. And we just got to get back to playing fundamental football, playing physical, doing our jobs, and making sure that we contain those runs and give our offense another shot.
Justin, I saw your brother on Instagram training, lifting a lot of weight, doing a lot of drills. What do you tell him at this time? He's a vet, but he's a guy looking for an opportunity right now.
Yeah, he's just letting everybody know he's still ready. I mean, he's still coming off a season where he set 2 franchise records of 100-some tackles, the most sacks by a safety for the Carolina Panthers organization. And he's just letting people know that he's still fit, he's still ready, he's still moving right well, and he's just ready for that call whenever it comes.
Mike Bailey.
Hey, Justin, I just from reading your Twitter feed, I think it was late Sunday, if I'm understanding. You said you looked at the film initially, and perhaps it wasn't as bad as you feared. What did you see that gives you optimism?
Yeah, I'm a very passionate player. I care a lot about the team's success. I care a lot about winning. I can't stand losing. Going 0-3, man, it's just very tough on players like myself, other players that we have in the locker room that just care so much about creating a winning culture. And the season hasn't started off the way that us or the fans or anybody really wanted it to. Really just looking at the tape on the first 3 quarters, and it's kind of a consistent pattern. We've been getting better each week, but we start the game off well, and then we don't finish the game. You know what I mean? And especially when it comes to the fourth quarter, that's when bad things start happening. So that's what I meant by that in the tweet. It just really comes down to continue to execute throughout the entire game, the full 60 minutes, especially in the fourth quarter. We have opportunities to go and win the game. And whenever I look at the film, especially coming off a loss, I'm always hard on myself first because that's the type of guy that I am. I will never want to point the finger at anyone else without looking at the film at what I could have done better personally. And like I said, I just really take it to heart whenever we lose. So my attitude is always just to stay positive. That's what I'm going to continue to do this week throughout the rest of the season too, continue to stay positive because we're moving in the right direction. We just got to clean up a couple more things, make sure that we get these wins.
John McClain.
Justin, how frustrating is it for the defense not to have a turnover at this point?
Extremely frustrating. We usually pride ourselves on 2 things: that's stopping the run and creating turnovers. And we haven't been very talented at doing either of those up to this point in the season. So we need to get back to playing Houston Texans football, which is not only stopping the run, but dominating the run, creating those turnovers. And whenever we start doing a better job of that and start forcing teams into more adverse situations where it's 3rd and longs instead of 3rd and shorts, I think all of that will work hand in hand in starting to create those turnovers, whether it be picks, forced fumbles, sack fumbles, whatever it may be. I think it all works hand in hand.
Brian Bearfield.
Justin, how much preparation does it take or game planning for a player like Justin Jefferson, who had a breakout game on last week with 175 yards receiving?
Yeah, he's a talented guy, guy from the boot. So I've known, watched him for a couple of years. Talented player, him and Thielen. I think that he's done a great job last week, really starting to show his stripes a little bit. And, it's difficult game planning a guy that doesn't have a lot of tape, but we still look for the system that they run. We pay attention to their route combinations, kind of what they do, and we know the type of guy that he is. So we're not going to overthink it. We're going to play what we know, play what we see, and play our technique, take care of itself.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, Justin, when you look at the team and they start looking at outside free agents, they wound up not working out Earl Thomas, but they did bring him in, and we're going to, if not for some COVID concerns around the league. Does that kind of in some ways sting a little bit when they start looking at outside free agents, when you guys are trying to turn around? I'm not asking you to say anything negative about the team. I'm just asking if it kind of is a motivator when, they start looking around at other players at your guys' positions.
Right. I can't speak for everybody. It doesn't really bother me personally. That's really more of an upstairs question and situation. My job is to worry about the guys that are on the field that I'm with right now. It doesn't really affect me whether they bring in a new guy or not. If they do, great. If they don't, great. We have more than enough firepower either way. So I just play with the guys that are my teammates and go out and get the win.
Brandon Scott.
Hey, Justin, I'm just curious, man, when you look at the film and you're critical of yourself, are there plays that you feel like you're not making? I know that's something that you said before the season started, that you didn't want to focus on getting a certain amount of interceptions, but like not dropping one. It's just as an example. Is that what it is for y'all with turnovers?
Yeah. I think it's just a lot of frustration in general. I haven't had any real big coverage busts or anything like that. But I have missed a couple tackles, and those tackles have just really irritated me, especially since we've been struggling on the run, and I feel like I could have done a better job with that. But yeah, there's always room for improvement. I don't think I've missed any big opportunities per se, but there's always opportunity to do something a little bit better. And being 0-3, I'm just highly critical of every mistake that I make, because I just want to win, and I want to do my part to win.
Last question for Brian Bearfield.
Justin, being a veteran, on this team now, being a voice on the defensive side of the ball, do you get with the other defensive players, such as like J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless, and talk about the things? I understand you all talk about improvement, but being at a point where you all are now, do you get with the other players, the younger players, the ones who are new to the team, and tell them, how important it is to push through what you're going through right now?
Yeah. I'm a very team first guy. I love talking to the younger players. I love talking to anybody that wants to talk ball. I've always left that door open. I'm always excited to talk ball, try to share the knowledge that I know, and through my experiences, and pass it on. And also, even with the coaching staff, we got great communication between the coaches. It's an open door policy. I can go talk to Coach Weave, D-Lin, OB, really any of them. And we talk ball, we talk coverage, we talk maybe the best combinations, how we might switch up a route concept to match our personnel to the upcoming offensive personnel. And they give players like me and other leagues. I think that's really important in creating a cohesive unit and putting the best people out there in the best situations.
Great. Thanks so much, Justin.
100%. Appreciate you guys.